Hello, welcome to part 2 with TinMan. And then at the end of the video is a question that I asked in the title of this video. Okay, the front side of the TinMan ornament, the first ornament, was used with crackle paste. And that was in part 1. Now, while I am waiting for a napkin and a photo to dry on that ornament, I want to go back to the Glinda ornament and explain that I found these cute little teardrop ornaments in my craft stash. Had a dream about them the other night, and I thought, well, I'm going to use them this time around. And I decided to use them this way. Okay? And I did go over this in part 1. But I also have disc ornaments. And I decided, you know what? I'm the Wicked Witch. And since I use gems on a few of the ornaments, I am going to enclose the Wicked Witch ornaments with the disc ornaments. So I heated up my hot knife and I decided to melt away the little hooks that belong on top of these disc ornaments. Then I decided to use some alcohol and spritz it and wipe them down. I grab my fabric tack and I seal them over the ornament. So it's another idea I'm bringing to you amongst the 5 other ideas that I'll be bringing to you in this video series in part 2. So here I go. See? Isn't that cute? It's a neat idea. And the gems, I think it helps so that the gems won't be bumped on the tree when you have this disc ornament over the front of it. But with the Glinda ornament, I enclosed the poppy, and then I have another ornament where I enclosed a snowflake. But with the Wizard of Oz, now I'm going to show you what I decided to do to make a hook. I've been using a lot of clay molds to make the hooks, but I grab my hot knife and I go into the kitchen where it's a little bit of a bigger and wider area, because boy, the hot knife stinks when you are melting plastic. And I heat the hot knife up, but then I unplug it. And now I'm showing you, I'm just carefully easing the hot knife through these 2 dessert plates. Because remember, there's 2 of them glued together. And it creates a hole. So I bring it back on my table, and I showed you, here's like a poppy that I've painted, and I'm going to use fabric tack and place it over the hole that I just melted. And let that set and cure. So there's another idea on how to make hooks for your dessert plate ornaments. Now watch this. I always bring up the ideas to leave your pets off your work tables because they leave fur behind. And then why do you want to paint something and keep pulling off fur from your pets? Well, look at this. All I did was reach over to attach that disc ornament to the Wicked Witch ornament, and a hair dropped off my sleeve. A cat hair. So I just wanted to show you, we still, if we own pets, we carry the fur around us, and it will drop off on our projects. So that's why I have a very strict rule that I do not allow my animals on my table. Plus, of all the ingredients and all the paints and supplies I use, I don't want my animals getting into them. Now here I just showed you the crackle paint. One was not dried with a hair dryer. The other one was dried for about a minute with a hair dryer. I do not like using the hair dryers or the heat guns because I feel it will ruin my photos and my gems and everything else. However, with crackle paint paste, it is thick. You have to use heat on it. You can use a heat gun, but it gets too hot. So I place my hair dryer on low setting, and I carefully go around it for less than a minute, just to activate that crackle paste and make it crack. But I will leave it alone for the rest of the day. It will naturally crack, but if you want wider gaps, activate it with the heat source. And it does state that on the instructions for crackle paste to use a heat source. I just don't like the idea. It might mess up all the other stuff that's already on my ornament, because after all, this is just plastic. It's just a dessert plate. But here I'm showing you what I do and how long I do it for. See the cracks? Pretty. I end up covering up most of this ornament anyways later on, but it's a step I am bringing to you to show you how I do it. And as you know, see, it's on a plate too. I'm holding it from a paper plate and not holding the ornament itself. So I don't end up, heating up my hand. Cool. Now what do we do to bring out the cracks? This is the first time I'm using this product, and boy, it stinks. It really stinks. It stinks worse than varnish. And I usually varnish wood out in the garage, but it's this Michigan and we're in wintertime right now. Look at all the warning signs on that little glass bottle liquid patina. But I did this yesterday in the evening, and all I did was just sponge it on and then blot it dry, and then yes, it sinks into the cracks. I don't like it. I don't like the smell, so I'm going to show you a different technique here in this part 2 video. What else you can do to bring out the cracks and it don't stink? I just grab some brown paint, I add water to it, and I just mix it. Any color paint, whatever you are doing, just add some water, mix it up a little bit. Have to make some room, because I noticed that this video app that I use to record and edit my videos, it blocks out half of the photo here. I'm like, okay, I'm noticing that. Plus, I noticed that my voice crackles when I'm talking. I have no idea what's going on, but I try my best. Anyway, see, I use this watered down paint in brown, and then I just dab it on. I don't wipe it on. I don't brush it on. I dab it on with the brush, because I don't want the cracks to crumble. And I haven't varnished it yet. So, and then here we go. Just a tissue and blot. Blot lightly, L-I-G-H-T-L-Y, lightly blot it. And then go around and continue doing it to the ornament. So this is another way to bring out the cracks in this crackle paint paste. Another idea, dry brush. Dry brush is the easiest, and it doesn't smell either. And you just grab your paint and you blot it off your brush, and then you lightly go across the layers. The lighter you do it, the prettier it becomes. But you can continue to do it again later on when this first layer dries. It just depends on your color choices. What am I trying to do here? I told you in video number 1 that I want it to look like it's rusted and aged, because this reminds me of the TinMan. That's why I tried crackle paste. And this is why I'm adding various colors to these first 2 ornaments. Yeah, this is a dry brush technique. This video contains a lot of ideas. I hope I am not boring you. It took me a couple days to do all this work. Here you go. Here's that liquid smelly patina. And then here's the watercolors or the paint watered down and blotted on or blotted off. And then you have your dry brush. Now this is dried. So guess what? I can go around it with another color. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just adding a tad of that white over it. You know, artist preference. But it's an idea for you. And here's an up-close shot of that smelly patina liquid. And then this is what it looks like with the paint. Now, we have to varnish. And triple thick. I want to triple thick the photos and varnish the crackle paint. Oh, but before I do, guess what? An artist always has to add more. I decided to get out some grayish silver paint and go over that as well. I am using the dry brush technique. So we end up having 4 different colors, because then after I do this, I use a metallic wax. But there you go, just ideas for you, and the way I like it to appear. It's looking like the old rusty TinMan to me, if you ask me. Just the way I see it in my eyes. Once again, there's the patina look with the liquid. It gives it a different look, that's for sure. I kind of like it, but I just don't like the smell. So, here's the varnish. Boy, my bottle's almost empty. But now, once again, I'm going to dab it on, because these cracks will fall off. So dab it on gently. Use a gob of that varnish. Don't worry about it. It dries clear. But this will protect the layer while I'm handling the ornament, because I still have other items I am placing on this ornament. I want to place a heart, gold beads. Also, I will use a clay mold to go around it as well. This is coming up very shortly. But place your varnish over it, or use the enamel like I've showed in video 1. Take them outside and spray coat it with enamel and let it dry and cure. Now back to the witch, the Wicked Witch ornament. There we go. When you see me add the gold beads to the ornaments, they are completed. And I finally added the gold beads to the Wicked Witch ornaments. I sure hope my voice isn't crackling. I'm trying my best here. Here's the second one. And then there's the hook goes right through the top. Right through those 2 flowers. I only decided to place gold beads on the front. You can place them on the back or the front. Whatever you want to do. But that's my final step, because I don't want to paint over the gold beads. My idea is to have golden ornaments on the tree, so I want the ornaments to tie in to the golden ornaments I'm going to add later. Anyhow, so here I go. I took a Prima mold and I used paper clay, and after all that paste and crackling and layers, I'm covering up most of it. But this is what I want to do. I'm trying to line up the swirls. I use fabric tack to adhere. I gently push against the dessert plate. still see some of the crackle paint, but it's there. It's textured. It looks nice. I like it. This ornament is getting heavy at this time. It was pretty light in the beginning, but now I'm adding the clay. It adds weight to the ornament. Something you have to consider when you get a hook made. You know, you have to remember how much weight that ornament is. So I'm cutting a little piece because I have a little gap to fill in. But then I realized while I'm editing, I am showing you the clay mold, and then it jumps into me applying the turquoise liquid wax with my finger. So bear with me. It goes backwards after this. But you can see the crackle paste. It's highlighted in a little bit more of a metallic blue. Well, I add that in the next segment. So here's Dorothy with just the dry brushing, and I did not use the heat dryer on that side. And see, I haven't even went to the back side yet. But this is the crackle paste without that heat that activated it. And here's the third one I'm working on, meanwhile. And I show you how to use triple thick. Triple thick self-levels. So make sure when you place triple thick on something, make sure your ornament or your project is leveled while it cures, or it will cure with a chunk. You know, there'll be a chunk on one side if your ornament is not placed on a leveled surface. It self-levels. Decoupage glue, that self-levels as well. You have to have a flat surface or you'll see it dry and there'll be chunks in certain areas. I hope you understand how I'm trying to explain it. I will show this later. I use diamond dust later, and then I have to place my ornament on a level because the backside has this heart on it and it does not make my ornament leveled. So I'll show you later what I do. But here it is, Inca Gold and turquoise. I go around all these ornaments, so it's just a dab of it. I use it on my finger, but I do this first before I place the clay around the ornament. But it's in the video, it's all that matters. Steps, steps, and steps. It's a journey. Like I said, I use Dawn dish soap to clean my brushes and my hands. It makes everything clean. And if you don't find Dawn dish soap, we have a grocery store here in Michigan called Kroger's. And Kroger's makes Dawn dish soap equivalent. And I'll show you that in a photo in a minute. But you can use it as well. What it is, Dawn dish soap has a degreaser in it, and a lot of this has oil. Like, for example, this liquid wax. It's oily. It'll come off your hands with Dawn dish soap. See, it really brings out a little bit of a shine. He may have been rusted, but he did have a little teeny bit of shine when Dorothy and the Scarecrow found him. And I will add a few little circular rounds around this ornament. And what it's doing, it's hitting the crack. It's hitting the cracks. You know, a Christmas tree has lights, right? You put lights on a Christmas tree. I have Christmas tree lights. Well, this liquid wax buff will bring out a lot of sparkling from the Christmas lights. Here's the Dawn dish soap. And then here's the Kroger equivalent. Yeah, I wash everything. My molds, my clay molds, my utensils, my brushes. Well, the next day I wake up, because I just had a dream the night before. I was trying to figure out how would I make hooks. I have these flowering cans in my jewelry box that I never wear. They're earrings and they're pink. They're very heavy. They're all metal. And I never wear them. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to repurpose them. And so now I just got to figure out how am I going to place them on these two ornaments. And I thought, well, clay mold. I have to glue them to a clay mold. And then place the clay mold over the ornament. And then stand the ornament upright. And tape it. So that's what I do. And while that's off to the side, I'm on to this ornament. So I'm doing this side first. It has a photo of a heart. And I'm going to pick up my dragonfly glaze. I used to use this for my jewelry boxes I repurposed. It's in my videos. It is so pretty. It has gold. This one has gold and red highlights in it. So I am just showing you, you can place this on your projects. And here I go. I gotta go back to the fabric tack and press down to eliminate the air bubbles. And that's what I'm doing every few minutes. Going right back to these ornaments. I have them standing upright. So here is the TinMan on this side. With the clay ornaments, I have a beautiful emerald rhinestone right there. I found that in my craft stash. And then the back side of an ornament, I did use that smelly patina liquid again. But look at that, the cracks really came out. If only the camera would focus. There we go. You see the cracks? From the fine line crackle paint. That's in video 1. And there it is. Phew, stuff. Here's the back side with the heart. And then here's the front side. Now, see, it's not leveled because the heart's on the back. It doesn't allow for the balance on this ornament. So what I'm deciding to do is add some decoupage glue and then use my diamond dust to show you how to use that. Then I turn it on the light, the overhead light, and you can see the photo, but once I add more, the photo's going to disappear. But that's just the way it goes. I am just showing you techniques and steps, and I like it along the way. And this is how I'll do it. I'll just grab a bunch of this, here's the bottle of it, decoupage matte sealer, and then just place it around the edge and then add the diamond dust. The diamond dust actually is glass. It's not glitter, it's glass. So be very careful with it when you're handling it. And I'm waiting on this earring / oil can to dry in another heart. Because I'm going to place the heart on that ornament right there. And that's gluing really well. So here I go. I want to show you how I do this. I think I am talking while I am video recording this, but now I'm narrating, so that's why this little segment's going a little bit longer. Yeah, but I'm voice recording over it. But yeah, see, I'm just showing you that the heart on the back side is causing an unbalance of this ornament. But I'll apply the glue first and then the diamond dust, and we'll see how it turns out. Then I'll grab 2 bottles that are of the same height, and that's how I'll level the ornament while it cures. Here is one of Glinda's ornaments with the disc ornaments that you can purchase. It's not the dessert plate, it's the disc, but it is finished because there's gold beads around it. And I decided, well, you know, she has some diamond dust. I'm going to use it here on the Tin Man's heart, because the movie seems towards the end when he gets all buffed and shined and then he gets awarded his heart, the movie is very bright and sparkly. Where the other 2 ornaments, they're kind of drabby and rusty and creaky and creepy looking. That's why I'm going with 3 ornaments for each character. A lot of products on my table. Sure don't want my cat up on this table getting in all this. Much less I don't want fur falling on my hard working projects. And she doesn't get up on the table. She'll get up on the chair, but not the table. Okay, so I went around already with the decoupage glue. And now I'm just adding the pretty diamond dust. If I had a paper cup, I would place some of it in a paper cup and then just squeeze the top so that it would form like a pour around it. But I have to grab it with my fingers and gently sprinkle around it. I don't have any paper cups, which is okay. Once the glue dries, I can tip this upside down, and whatever diamond dust falls off, I can place that back in the container. But the main idea is to make sure that this is leveled while it's curing. Hit the subscribe button and answer my question I asked towards the end of the video and what's in the title of this video. I'd like to hear feedback from you all. I don't get very many people watching my videos, but someday they will. And I'll try to answer the questions too as they come in the comments. Okay, so I take it off the plate, and now I find 2 bottles I can place this on, and that way it's leveled. I will have to spray this with enamel before I flip it over and do the back side. But that will be in part 3. I will continue these 3 Tin Man ornaments in part 3. I don't like the videos to go for very long. So I'm going to end here and ask a question. And we'll see ya in part 3. While I'm sitting here waiting once again for the umpteenth million time for all my layers to dry on the ornaments, I want to show you something. This is 5 years old, and this is proof that my methods last. 5 years old. This is on my YouTube channel. If you don't believe me, look back. I only have like 150 views for the video, but I made this 5 years ago with the techniques I am doing in 2024. for my ornaments. So some of the techniques and some of the glues. And you can shake this thing, drop it, and look. Everything's still together. We have a tea set, a key, music notes in the back, a milk jug with the portrait of me and my grandchildren on it, some dessert, a bottle with a dragonfly, various floral rhinestone gems, and those are very heavy. Have a photo right there. I have a photo here inside a frame. And these photos, I get them when I go to the library. I use a private album from my Facebook page, and I can print the size I want and then use them for my crafts. This picture of my grandmother, Mary Ann Jones. Her maiden name is Kaju. Another very heavy rhinestone and gold flower. Various wallpaper decorations, which is doilies. A chandelier. Look at this. Evidently, what I do and all the steps that I take putting together my art projects, because I call them art, not crafts. Art. They last, even on the outside. And you wonder, people ask, what's the difference between an artist and a crafter? And I've been watching quite a few videos when I sit, and they also come up in my feed on YouTube. I hear a craft person say, well, don't worry about the backside. Nobody will see the backside. I hear that so many times with the Dollar Tree craft projects they're making, even ornaments, even wreaths. I've heard that statement in various YouTube videos. Now an artist knows somebody's going to look in the back, and they finish the backside of everything. Detail, detail, detail. That to me, and this is just my opinion, but that to me is the difference between a crafter and an artist. A crafter is going to say, well, this side is the bad side, so don't show this side. Or people won't see the back side, so don't finish the back side, don't worry about it. Or I'm going to place the worst side in the back. No, an artist will not say that. Not me. I'm an artist. I want my backside finished as well. With wreaths, you can buy placemats and stuff. When you put together a wreath and you use a lot of pipe cleaners or zip ties, heck, cover up the backside. People are going to see the backside. You're going to craft a wreath? Fine. But if you are an artist creating a wreath, you find a way to cover up all those flaws and the marks and the pipe cleaners, and you purchase something for the backside of the wreath. That to me is the difference between an artist and a crafter. What do you think? You leave a comment below, but I wanted to show you proof that I guess my methods work. My glues, my layers work. And then I can wipe this down. I do keep this on my shelf. I have to dust it like anything else.